Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It's Monday, July the 10th. Good to have you with us on the show. It's made it through a very hot and steamy weekend. They say it's going to be a hot week coming up. We've got a busy week here at HCC. There's a special board meeting tomorrow, so we won't be on with the show tomorrow. We'll talk more about that later in the show. My co-host this morning, Dr. Natalie Garza, HCC history professor. Good to see you with us. Natalie, thanks for being here this morning and co-hosting the show.
Good morning. It's good to see you. I think the last couple of times I've co-hosted, there was a guest host, so it's good to see you.
It's good to see you. Are you having a good summer so far? Are you teaching the classes this summer?
I am. I taught first summer session, and then I have an online class this session.
And from what I understand, the second summer session, does that start today?
Yes, it starts today.
All right. So if you didn't get a chance to register for HCC, you can still register for the fall. We'll give you the information later in the show, but summer session 2 underway right now. Okay, Natalie, we want to thank everybody who's watching us on HCC's feed, on our social media feed. We're live on Facebook and YouTube every morning at 10 a.m., just about every morning when HCC is in session, but they can also catch us in social media anytime, rewatch the show, and on HCCTV.
Yes. Well, we're not live right now, but we're typically live on Houston Community College District Facebook page and YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
All right. So look for us. So Natalie, you're going to be talking with this next guest. Want to bring him on real quickly. Dr. Mehmet Argin. Good to see you, Mehmet. How are you doing?
Good. Great to be in your show again, Todd. Thanks for inviting me.
We appreciate you being here. I know congratulations are in order. The new dean of our, it's the COE for engineering.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna be with you. We're looking forward to hearing about everything you got going on out there. So stick around. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
First up, though, it's Mental Health Monday, and we're visiting with NAMI. That's the National Alliance of Mental Illness. Angela Hudson is their executive director in Greater Houston area. Welcome back to the show, Angelina. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful this Monday morning, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here again. Now, you say there are 3 things you should know about mental wellness, including 3 brains. What exactly does that mean?
Well, what we want to talk about here is that there's this continuum, right, of mental health, mental wellness. And so everyone that we sort of deal with through NAMI doesn't necessarily have a diagnosis. That's our target population. But the brain is impacted not only by just the chemicals that go on in our brain, they also have a lot to do with our diet and our activity. So all of our senses and those things that we eat can affect the chemical balance of our brains. And so it's important to recognize that there's more than just what's going on up here.
And can you explain the concept of struggling, typical, and thriving, and in the continuum?
Yes, everyone has a baseline. Everyone has a way in which they function at their optimum self, where you're actually getting up every day and you're not even taking names or hostages. You're just getting everything done and you're percolating on a level that you're happy about. But unfortunately, or fortunately, it's just life. There are some days where you just don't have the same amount of pep, the same amount of get up and go. That doesn't mean that the first thought you have is, oh, I must be dealing with some sort of mental health condition. No, it's just not your most optimum day. So we can slide from wellness to unwellness, but it's those interventions, those protective factors that we put back in our life. Maybe it's more rest. Maybe it's a day at the pool. Maybe it's some time with your grandkids. Maybe it's some time with your friends socializing. But whatever it takes you back to your baseline, that's what you want to get to as early as possible. And if you can't do it alone and you need help to get there, there's no harm in reaching out for help.
And you mentioned something that's important about having a bad day. Is it normal just to say, look, I'm having a bad day today?
I think it's more important to admit it to ourselves. Check in with ourselves regularly. I've just started journaling, but some people are not writers. Some people have to do something electronic, but find a way. Some people want to get out on the track first thing in the morning, but whatever it is that you do, first thing, check in with yourself. How are you feeling? And based on how you feel, what do you need? What do you need to get back to that place where you're at your baseline again?
Now, college students have a whole different amount of stressors than people who may not be going to college. What are some of the stressors that college students would face?
Oh, well, of course, schoolwork and exams, finals, end of the semester, but there's also other issues like living on your own for the first time. The cell phone bill has just tripled and you don't know why. I know one of the things that most Houstonians are going through, and so are college students that live on their own, the light bill seems to be tripling.
Yeah.
So that's because of extreme heat and we're running the air more. And so there's a lot of stress out there just for regular folks. And then when you add on going to school and getting out and making sure, and usually our college students are those who don't have the most finances to handle anything that comes their way. So all of that puts on extra stress. And then there's, relationship stress, which that's the time in our life where we're just putting our toe in the water with all these new types of relationships and figuring out who we are and who we're not. So that adds to the dilemma, but the solution is the same. Checking in on who we are and not being afraid to ask for help, understanding that sometimes talking about a situation with someone that you trust can sometimes relieve some of the pressure. But if that's not enough, then you can bump it up and bump it up. I think the main thing is to get educated about what mental health and wellness is. What are some of the protective factors for you? We have other people on the call this morning. What might be a protective factor for you, like going to the gym, pushing up some weight, may not be a protective factor for me.
Right.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be, but I'm just saying everyone has something different that they can do to bring themselves back to mental wellness, and it differs for each person. You just have to, learn and get some more information about what those factors could be for you. And that's what NAMI does. We have the psychoeducation classes.
Do you find people who are going through the stressors fall into drug and alcohol use or increase that more? Is that something you're seeing as well?
Self-medicating is the number one. When people feel stressed, what do? Right? Some people smoke, some people drink, some people eat sugar, some people, you can exercise, but there's a point in which you can exercise and restrict calories into a point that is detrimental to your health. So all of us have really something we do. For some of us, it's just strolling on the cell phone. But whatever it is, if it's to a place where it's interfering your ability to keep up your daily routine, you can't take care of your daily functions, can't get anywhere on time, can't meet deadlines, can't pay bills, that kind of thing. If you're losing out on all your relationships that you're comfortable with, there's some telltale signs that it's more than you can manage on your own.
What about for those who feel hopeless and, the suicidal behaviors? I mean, what are some of the warning signs that you need to look for with your loved ones and friends?
I don't know if it's a higher incidence of suicide by nature, or it's just more attention, like we're documenting it better, right? So now we know that this person has died based on suicide. But what we do know is that it's on the table. And it's more often an option for people in a way that it hadn't been before. And it's younger and younger populations that are struggling with suicidal ideation. So for all of those reasons, we need to know the warning signs. If a person is feeling helpless or hopeless, telling you that what's the point of moving forward? What's the point of living? I don't want to be a burden anymore. Or they're extremely happy because they've made up in their mind that they're not going to continue with their life and start giving things away. Then you've got to ask them the question, are you thinking of harming yourself? Are you thinking of suicide? Be as direct as you can and know what you're going to say next. There's the 988 number, which is our suicide hotline number. Yeah. It's a shorter number now so that everybody can remember 988. And then locally, we have mental health hotline numbers. We also have warm line numbers. Warm line means it's not a crisis. You're not in the middle of an extreme situation, but you just want to talk to somebody on what you can do. What are your options? So I've shared a list of warm line and hotline numbers, any of those. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's such a crisis. Even the hotlines will become warm lines for you if you just call and want to talk to someone, because everybody is trying to step in and intervene to help people find their protective factors, the things that keep them safe, to move them back into baseline. It's really something that was more natural. People could figure it out. But now there's more threats to our baseline. There's more pressure. There's more stress. And because of that, we're all on this fight against suicide.
Well, all these numbers you've talked about, we're going to put those in our social media post after the show so people can get them and know where to find them. If someone's struggling out there, we got about 30 seconds left. Someone's struggling out there right now. What's your advice to them?
Don't stay quiet. Reach out, tell someone. If that person doesn't believe you or doesn't listen, and sometimes that's the people closest to you, then call someone else. Sometimes calling a perfect stranger is the best because you'll say more, you'll share more deeply, and you'll get a response without any history. So they won't think that it's a passing thought. They'll really react on it. So reach out to someone, and a stranger is always great, but know people care about you. And that's what those numbers are about.
Angelina Hudson, she's the interim executive director of NAMI Greater Houston. Thank you so much for being here this morning as our mental health Monday guest. Thank you. As it mentioned, we're going to have all that information and phone numbers in our social media post after the show. Okay, let's shift directions right now. We're going to turn things over to Natalie, and you've got a special guest with some congratulations in order.
Yes, we're moving on to Dr. Mehmet Argin, Dean of HCC's Engineering Center of Excellence. Welcome back to the show, Dr. Argin, and congratulations on your new role.
Thank you, Natalie. Like I said, I'm happy to be back, and thanks for inviting me for the show.
So let's talk about engineering. Tell us about the current job climate for engineers in Houston.
Well, there are interesting data for engineering. U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics estimates like over 125,000 annual opening. By 2030, it's 125,000. When Texas numbers are not different than U.S. numbers, and the Texas Workforce Commission estimates 12% growth in engineering jobs, again by 2030. These are huge numbers. And Houston is one of the largest employers of the engineers in the world, not in the country, in the world. And especially in oil and gas industry, there are a lot of openings. And so the colleges are producing more engineers, but it's not enough to fill the gap. There's still a lot of shortage in engineering across the Houston, across the Texas, and across the country.
So what is HCC doing to fill that gap? I know we have some engineering academies. Can you tell us about those?
Well, HCC Engineering COE has partnered with Texas A&M in 2015. Since 2015, we have an engineering academy with Texas A&M. And since 2020, we have the same academy with University of Houston. The model is unique. Students in this program co-enroll into both institutions. So day one, students in the academies become a Texas A&M student, University of Houston student, and then Houston Community College student. It's affordable because students pay HCC tuition for the core classes that they take with us, and they pay the partner institution tuition for the core classes that they take. So they can transition. We don't say they transfer to University of Houston or Texas A&M. We use the word transition. They transition to Texas A&M at College Station or transition to University of Houston. The good thing about University of Houston is it's located at the Katy location and Katy and Fragile location. And Katy location is just a walking distance from the University of Houston Katy location. And our Fragile location is not a walking distance, but it's a 5 minutes drive to University of Houston main campus. So students co-enroll and they can take classes at both institutions. That's great for students who can't go to College Station or who can't go to U of H main campus.
Yeah, that's great. I actually didn't know there was one at the Fraga campus.
Yes, at Fraga and Katy locations, that academy is there for U of H.
And what other major partnerships do you plan?
We have partnered with Texas, University of Texas at Taylor for a long time. It's a different model. We call it one-stop shop for students because UT Tyler's Engineering Academy is located at the same building as our engineering COE at the Alief Hayes campus. So students take the first 2 years engineering classes with us, with Houston Community College, and then they transfer to UT Tyler and complete the junior and the senior year. It's basically they're coming to the same building, attending 2 different institutions, but under the same umbrella. And that's one of our biggest partnership so far. And we have recently signed an agreement with Prairie View A&M, expanding our partnership. And our goal is to expand partnership with the local universities in town, because this shortage that I mentioned in engineering field requires a lot of collaboration with the local universities here.
And will the partnership at Prairie View, will it be similar to the U of H and Texas A&M where they transition to that campus?
Well, that partnership is like UT Tyler transition. So students can take the first 2 years with us and transfer either earlier or after they completing their AS degree.
And aside from, you know, students going to get their bachelor's in engineering, what role does HCC play in meeting workforce needs?
Well, the engineering COE is designed primarily to transfer students to four-year institutions. So students either spend 2 years with us, complete their AS degree and transfer, or they transfer early to partner institutions. But we are in the process of adding rigor and adding more lab hours to our engineering curriculum so that students will have marketable skills after completing 2 years with us and find a job. Those who don't want to attend the four-year institutions or transfer to four-year institutions can find jobs after completing 2-year degree with engineering. We are also in the process of incorporating emerging technologies like AR, VR, robotics into our curriculum. I mean, our students are doing a lot of 3D printing and use the makerspace in our graphics classes and intro classes, but we want to incorporate those new emerging technologies into our curriculum so that students will be prepared well and they retain in the program, transfer into foreign institutions or the workforce and stay there and complete on time.
Yeah, I think the makerspace and the AI resources that we have are such a good opportunity for students to have access to.
In addition, Natalie, we're working with the ISDs because that's the starting point for a pipeline. And we would like to offer more engineering classes at ISDs and prepare them before they come to HCC and then transition them to four-year institutions to fill the gap in industry. That's
really good. That's really good to be able to have that transition from high school to college and have that leg up. I heard about the Warren Bernard, its agriculture, horticulture, and environmental studies program. Let us know more about that program.
Well, this is our new baby.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. We're very excited about launching this program because HCC has historically offered the Associate of Science in Horticulture at the old Katy campus on Fry Road. But that program is phased out and it was deactivated. Now we are in the process of launching not only horticulture, but horticulture, agriculture, and environmental studies piece. We have great partnership with AgriLife Extension, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, and Texas Nursery and Landscaping Association. We even pilot a continuing education course in the spring semester at the Katy location. Katy location is a great place for this because it has connection with the Texas A&M and Sam Houston State, which we're planning to partner with those institutions. Let me give you a number about how much demand for the occupations under horticulture, agriculture, and environmental studies. Like there are over 17,000 annual job openings for landscaping and groundskeeping worker jobs in Texas. And out of those 17,000 opening, 8,500 is in Houston. This is huge for any occupation. If you have 400 annual opening, that's a great number. But for these occupations, it's 8,500 in the Houston area. So what we're doing right now is we apply for grants through USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. We are in the process of receiving some, expecting some grants. HCC allocated funds for the program, and we'll be using those funds. And we're in the process of adding more continuing education courses in the fall semester. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, that is really exciting to have that new program coming on. And I imagine there'll be a lot of new resources for them to get hands-on experience. What is your vision for the future of engineering COE, sorry.
Well, engineering COE already established its footprints through its engineering academies. It's a unique model. The Texas A&M Engineering Academy is the second largest academy of Texas A&M. U of H Academy is the first U of H Academy that U of H partnered with us. And we have strong articulation agreements with the area colleges. And this is creating affordable education for many students in Houston. And we have over 2,000 students on engineering degree plan. It's a large program, and our goal is to keep them in the program, to improve the retention rates, to help them transfer and transition to four-year institutions or to workforce if they have the enough marketable skills. So I envision an engineering CO is to meet the demand in Texas and in Houston in the engineering field. In addition to engineering program, I envision to add degree plans for under the its program, horticulture, agriculture, environmental studies program, adding AS in horticulture, urban agriculture, or environmental studies.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mehmet Argin, Dean of HCC's Engineering Center of Excellence. You've got a lot of great stuff going on. We'll have all of your info in our post after the show.
Okay, thanks for having me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you both. A lot of exciting things going on with engineering in Houston and HCC. Okay. So tomorrow, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we will not have an up-to-the-minute episode live tomorrow because there's a special board meeting that's taking place, and a good number of our staff will be working at that board meeting. The board meeting will be streamed. It starts at 11 a.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, July the 11th. So no up-to-the-minute tomorrow. We'll return on Wednesday, July the 12th. There's also a college and community fair at HCC's Northwest campus. Natalie, HCC Northwest will host a college and community fair next week, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Thursday, July the 13th at the A-Leaf Bissonnet campus. Check HCC's events calendar for more information. And there's also a Building Bridges for Health, Natalie.
Yeah, this is a Fort Bend Interfaith Summit. This groundbreaking event aims to foster healthcare collaboration and cooperation among local faith-based nonprofit organizations and companies. On tap for discussion are healthcare hubs for all backgrounds, seeking to be more inclusive and accessible for Fort Bend residents. This is 10 a.m. to noon, Thursday, July 27th at the HCC Southwest Stafford campus.
Okay, SCORE workshops are continuing. Financial reporting is the next one on tap. HCC's Entrepreneurial Initiatives is offering another free SCORE workshop to learn more about sales. It's from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Thursday, August the 3rd at the Missouri City campus. Check our post after the show. It's free, but they would like you to register, so check that out. And we also got an Instagram One College exhibition, Natalie.
Throughout the summer, Instagram will continue to serve as gallery walls for an exhibition of studio classes from all colleges in the HCC system. Viewing link is available now through August 14th, and it's free. For more info, we'll have an email in our post after the show. Okay, fall registration. Let's talk about it. Summer session 2 started today. So you can register for the fall now, and you want to register soon, especially if you're taking those in-person classes. 5 ways to learn, including some of them that are completely online, some that are hybrid and in-person classes across the district. To learn more about HCC programs, check start dates and options. Check out this website, hccs.edu/apply. Now, on Wednesday, we'll be talking with Dr. Philip Nicotera. He will be visiting us, and he's from Coleman College to focus on another of its fabulous programs. And it's Small Business Wednesday as well, so we'll have a guest there as well. Natalie, thanks for helping us out on the show today. Good to see you again. Thank you. All right, and thank you all for joining us. We won't be here tomorrow. We'll be back on Wednesday. We'll see you then.
Sometimes what you need just shows up. Houston Community College has your back, whether you're knocking out some basics or upping your game for a better job. Enroll today for spring classes and frame your future with HCC.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Talk to your doctor about creating a plan that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.